We are, again, here for you. We do not want you to feel like you are going it alone and you have to go it alone all the time, because you're never really alone. You see, that's why we're here, to give you the energetic support, and we're here for you. And the whole point is to point you back to your sense. So knowing your soul song. And within that, it means to see as precious, to honor your essence, my dears. And so when you are looking at outsourcing your power, we are saying, no, my dears, come back to source, come back to your essence, come back to your knowing, come back to your truth. Because you know, you've always known, you can never not know. You can only pretend to not know. Welcome, loves. This is Ava Orah here. We're wrapping up this series on Spirit Guides Speak here in the next couple episodes. So we are really here to talk about some of the more subtleties of the relationships that you can have with your guides. And the one we want to talk about today is, how do you know if you are inadvertently, unintentionally, subconsciously actually outsourcing your intuition? And this actually happens more than you think. And so we're going to talk about how to notice the signs, how to know if you're doing it, and how to really kind of come back into congruence with an actual healthy relationship with your guides, and eventually with Source itself, to where you're not even outsourcing in the first place, right? So let's talk about it. So if you're new here, welcome. I channel a frequency known as Diana, who comes from the Pleiadian family, along with the frequency of the living Ma, which is at the baseline of all of this. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. And those who are returning, it's good to have you back again. And if you've been following along this series, I'm so grateful for you to just tap in and get connected in this particular way. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it here. I've got some tea steeping here, a gift from some dear friends up in Montreal, Canada, and they brought me some tea from the native forests up there. And so it's not very far. It's like a few hours away. And so it's all kind of in the same ecosphere of deliciousness. So I'm excited for Diana to try the tea today and see what she's got going on. So if you're new to that part, grab a cup of tea, because you're going to need it later. Push pause and make yourself a cup of tea, because we do a Pleiadian tea ceremony. Why not, right? So Diana loves her tea, and so we always bring some for her. So grab yourself a cup so you can sip right along with her when it's time. So let's talk about this, because it's really important. It's really, really important. So how are some ways that we are actually potentially outsourcing our intuition? Well, let's talk about that first and foremost, because ultimately you don't actually need your guides. So that's really where all of this is heading, is back to source, back to yourself, back to your own resourcing, your own power, your own intuition, your own knowing. And what are the subtle ways that we are not trusting ourselves? Right? So what are the subtle ways that you are actually, underneath it all, relying on this place that doesn't fully trust your own knowing, your own intuition, your own source of wisdom that comes directly from Source itself, that is never not connected to that source, that piece of information, because that's ultimately the truth of who you are. So we're going back into the essence, back into the place prior to the stories, the places that broke that original blueprint of trust. Because here's the deal. You're born with it. Like, every human in the DNA is coded with the frequencies of knowing how to trust yourself, and knowing how to trust your intuition, and knowing how to know. Like, it's actually hardwired. So part of this work is actually coming back into center point of, where did that original trust get broken, and how do we restore it? So that's the work I do. If you're curious, you can, click around and learn more. But what we're really here to talk about is, specifically with your guides, how can you actually tell what's going on here? All right. So first of all, I'm gonna get comfy for this one. You ever just want to be super cozy? Like, what I really want to do right now is like grab my cozy blanket and like cuddle up like cross-legged in my chair, because I can do that with this one. And it's not even winter. This is like a winter move right now. And sip this tea. Like, I don't even want to wait for Diana. That's how like excited I am about this tea. And I wish that I was going to be around to drink it, enjoy it, but it's okay. Diana can enjoy it. All right. Anyway, enough. You can't even tell that I'm sitting cross-legged. It's so silly. I feel more cozy and I can move around. It's probably not great for Diana. Anyway, I don't even know if I'm going to keep this in the clip, but we'll see how it goes. All right. So first, let's look at this. Let's look at this from the perspective of how often are you pulling cards? How often are you getting readings? How often are you looking at energy updates or astrology whatnots, or even just kind of just the subtle ways that we kind of go outside of ourselves to get the reassurance, the confirmation, the forecast, the on and on and on, right? The answers, the what's happening, what's going to happen, what's best, all of these things. And it's not to say not to engage in these things, but to do it from a different place, do it from the place of entertainment rather than actually reliance and dependency and using it as a framework for, well, this is how it is for me. There's a subtlety to it, but I see so many people doing this, and it's not right or wrong, but there is, if you are engaged in these practices, then I encourage you and invite you to sit with the underneath. Sit with what's happening underneath all of that desire to reach externally here and externally there, whether it's, again, for all these different reasons and all these different ways that we do this. And it happens a lot. And there's a lot of outsourcing happening right now of give me the answer, tell me this, give me the quick fix. Tell me what's happening in the astrology so that I can know what to expect, or I can understand what's happening in my body, or so that I can know what's going on, right? And underneath all of that, there is usually, in my experience of working with thousands of people at this point, is underneath all of that, there is this place where that trust, that original blueprint of trust in the DNA, got severed somehow, got a little bit tangled up, right? It got a little bit, went through the washer, so to speak, and came out on the other side, not really sure through life experience if it's actually safe to trust myself. So what comes up for people is it's not safe to trust. It's not safe to be in my power, because if I'm in my power, people get hurt. That's a huge one that I see so much. So feel into if that is true for you. It's not safe to be myself. It's not safe to be seen in my power, in my gift, because I'm going to die. That's actually, as crazy as it sounds, is actually over half the time accurate in the field for the clients that I work with to clear these patterns. That's what's there. That's what's alive in the field. And it's so subconscious. It's running on autopilot in the subconscious mind because of these open timelines, these other layers of experience that your soul has gone through, that your soul has traversed on this journey, that has severed that connection, severed that source of trust. And again, we can never not be whole. We can only pretend not to be, right? We can only pretend not to be. And by pretend, I mean we're choosing experiences that have us believing really strongly that we actually are separate from, whether it is our truth, our source of creation, whatever the play is, whatever the agreement is that we're going through in this particular timeline, there's that agreement. So look at those places that actually had that piece severed. That would be my first recommendation is there anything alive in that for you? Because when you're really honest with yourself, my experience is usually there's something there. And that can be trusting yourself. That can be trusting that it's safe to be in your gift. That can be trusting God, trusting life, trusting in the flow of life, the abundance of life, that you're supported. All of these layers of trust kind of we can kind of look at it through all these different lenses. They ultimately come back to that original connection to the source of all creation that can never be severed. Right? It's inherent. It's the truth of who you are underneath all the stories, all the identities, all the places, is this place in and before and through it all. And so that's the place that's asking for restoration, that's asking for reconnection, that's asking for wholeness, the experience of wholeness, the recognition of wholeness, the embodiment of wholeness. So that's really the play here. right? And so when we're outsourcing to all these different things and needing another deck and another reading and another energy update to confirm for us or tell us what to expect in our life, notice how your energy is pulling outward. And it's actually, every time you're doing that, it's like a little piece of yourself goes further and further away from this place of inherent trust within yourself. So the idea is really to invite you into the place where we're actually leaning inward more than outward. And it's okay if it's like building a muscle. So it takes time, but you have to be willing to go in. You have to be willing to slow down and actually like start to resource yourself, start to trust yourself, start to actually ask. And not be frustrated in the beginning if you're not getting anything, right? But to actually begin to go within, trust yourself, and see what's actually alive for you there. And then working through the places when you do start to hear, or you do start to see, or you do start to have the knowing, is the action piece of knowing when to take appropriate action based on what you're receiving, right? Having the trust and the faith to move in what you're receiving. So that's the work. That's the work. Another way this shows up is in, what you would call decision paralysis, where you just like can't even seem to make a decision, right? And that's the same belly underneath, right? This place that it's not safe to trust my knowing. It's not safe to trust myself, or I don't trust myself because of X, Y, or Z. And those are usually these subconscious things that are going on in the background from these other timelines. And so those are things that really need to be cleared up. They're asking for your attention. They're asking for your love and recognition to just bring it back into wholeness, because you already are whole. There's nothing to fix. There's just the recognition and the acknowledgement of bringing in more of the frequencies, bringing acknowledgement to more of the frequencies of who you are, so that you can really stand in your wholeness in all of the energetics that are there, not just the ones that are pleasant or comfortable or accepted in our culture, but bringing love and light to all the places, all the shadows, all the wounds, and recognizing that those too come from love and are asking for love, asking for that recognition. So that's a little bit about it. Let's bring in Diana. Let's see what she has to say on this topic. So for those, again, who are new, we're bringing in Diana, the Pleiadian family, to discuss this topic here on how we're outsourcing our intuition and what the guides have to say, what their perspective is on what we're doing here in this place of the underbelly of not trusting ourselves, and what the deal is here with the restoration process. I'm just curious what they have to say from this perspective. So I'm going to pour my tea here and see where we're at here. So I got a little tea ceremony. All right, this looks very... I like a light steep on my tea. This is quite light. I don't know. This is an experiment here. So I'm gonna it smells good. It smells like earth. It smells like earth. A little honey in it. So I've got my tea. Grab your tea if you don't have it ready with you, and we'll go ahead and I'll go right out and put you in touch with Diana. Here we go. Greetings, this is Diana of the Pleiadian family. We are here first and foremost to bring the love. We also like to say that first and foremost because it's important. You have to know that part. That's really all you need to know, by the way. And we also have a beautiful something to sip here. So we're excited about this. It's nice and warm. Feels like she hasn't been doing too much of the chit-chatting. So this is good news. We get warm tea today. Oh, very good. Okay, so write it in the chat. What are you drinking? Where are you coming from? We like to know what is in your cup today? What kind of magic are you whipping up in your cup today? We'd love to hear from you, my dears, because it connects us all. So we're opening the heart circuitry here together. We are connecting in through the light strands of the geometrical sacred geometry patterns that are always in existence. We're lighting up certain threads in consciousness, moving together in the threads here, using the water as a transmission here. So here we are, and the herbs too that are ideally from your environment, from your local area, so that you can strengthen your magnetic field. So as we're lighting up the electromagnetics, you have a strong field, and we're connecting magnetic to magnetic, electro to electro, all the things, you see, connecting in dot to dot. It's like cosmic dot to dot You see, so it's fun, quite fun. So here we are. Let's play a little dot to dot together today. Here we go. Let's see where we are, my dears. Okay. It's a nice frequency of this one. Very soft, very soft. Okay, good. Okay, my dear. So you're wrapping it up here. Maybe another one episode or two, something like this here for your little spirit guides. You're wanting to know all the details here. So here we are, spirit guide telling you about spirit guide. Why not? You see. So do we like this part? Because this is really the whole reason why we come through here is to bring the remembrance of who you truly are. You see, prior and within your form, you see. So it is important that as you are going through your life, going through your day, that you are relying on the gurus and the teachers and the wisdoms and the readings and the predictions and the forecasts and the cards and all the things that we use to confirm our knowing. There's a subtlety there, you see. Get the knowing first. If you are in the interim, get the inner knowing first, and then use the confirmation if you feel like you need it. But the more you do the inner knowing first, you will see I didn't even need the confirmation, you see. So just flip-flop the order, you see. Because what you're doing usually, most of you, is you're going external first, and then they're telling you things, and you're saying, well, I already knew that. That just confirmed what I already knew, you see. But oftentimes, you can flip-flop it, you see. You can do the inner work first and say, well, this is what I'm sensing. And you can just go with that. You don't need to get the external. But if you are just looking in the time of just kind of learning to trust yourself more, you can try it. You can try to do the external validation, but you have to be really clear that the one you're getting the information from is in the clarity. You see, so it's tricky because only you know your clarity the best. So whenever you go outsourcing, now you're bringing in new frequencies, and it's a little bit different than your direct connection with source, you see. And so always be aware that you have to take all of these things with so many grains of salt. It's too salty, really, is the truth of it all. It's better to just go straight to source, you see. So whether it is external in the human realm or it is external in the guide realm, it is the same thing. You're outsourcing subtly your power, you see. So we are, again, here for you. We do not want you to feel like you are going it alone and you have to go it alone all the time, because you're never really alone. You see, that's why we're here, to give you the energetic support, and we're here for you. And the whole point is to point you back to yourself, point you back to your truth of your inner knowing, you see. And it's to know yourself in both directions. This is the part the gurus got half right, you see. Yes, to know yourself in the infinite void, prior to source, prior to creation. You see, from the nothing comes the something. So you have to know the nothing first. You have to really get a good handle on it, get a good handle on the nothing. So meditating your way into oblivion, so to speak, where you're obliterating the ego. You see, this is so funny to us, you see, because you need your car to drive around. You see, you need your vehicle. So we tend to the form in a way that honors, that sees as precious not only the source from which it all emerges, but the emergence itself, what is alive from it, you see, gets just as much honor, gets just as much attention, love, recognition for the truth of what it is. And within this comes the integration of the enlightenment, you see, of the self-awareness. You see, so the self is not one or the other, it's the entirety. It's the entirety of the movement of life itself, or love itself, the polarity of nothing and something, of the void and the light, you see. It must contain it all to be the full picture. So you cannot ignore half the picture. You have to have the integration of both. And the integration of the moreness, the something, means to understand and integrate your specificity of frequency within the whole. Because we're playing a game where there is the illusion of the many. within the one. So within that, there are threads of consciousness called your soul song, and that is specific to you, my dears. Each one of you carries a unique blueprint, a unique soul song, a unique sound in consciousness, a vibration that is specific to you. It comes out in your voice, you see. So it's important for you to get good with you, both in the place where you come from prior to your identity, and then actually integrating the identities, you see, not having attachments to the identity, but actually being alive and connected into the specificity of your frequency. That is you. That is your essence, my dears. That is your essence. So from the one come the many, you see. There is an honoring asking to be taken place within the many. So knowing your soul song. And within that, it means to see as precious, to honor your essence, my dears. And so when you are looking at outsourcing your power, we are saying, no, my dears, come back to source, come back to your essence, come back to your knowing, come back to your truth. Because you know, you've always known, you can never not know. You can only pretend to not know. And that is a lot of what you are doing, is pretending to not know, pretending to not trust yourself, pretending that it is not safe, you see, pretending this or that, pretending that others are more intuitive than yourself, or more connected than yourself, or more whatever than yourself. And we're here to tell you that you are a divine child of the one, my dears, a divine child of the source of God, you see, the Godhead, however you want to word it. You are connected into that so intimately that you can never be separated. It is part of your essence, my dears. So it is really asking for a deeper reconciliation with the parts of you that have been in the frequencies of lacking in the self-worth or the self-love or the self-appreciation. You see, the wholeness frequencies, you see, coming back to source in that way, because that's just as important, you see. So that is really some tidbits here as you're looking at, do I need to go get another energy update and see what's happening? Or do I really need to go and talk to that other person to understand what's happening in my body? Or can I just slow down, go inside and ask my body, what's going on? What do I need to know right now? And slow down long enough to listen to the answer, my dears. It's not complicated. We overcomplicate it, say, oh, well, I'm not hearing anything. Well, are you listening? Are you slowing down to listen? Are you taking the time? You see, because most of the time when you actually give it the time of day, you will get the message, my dears. You will, you see, because it's hardwired. You're hardwired to get the message. So trust yourselves, my dears. Trust yourselves first and foremost. As much as we love you, that is our deepest desire for you, is your freedom. Is your freedom, your liberation, my dears. And that requires reconnecting to the original blueprint of trust within source itself. That is you, that is connected to the essence of who you are. So may you all be blessed that you are able to take this knowledge and integrate it into your experience of how you're living your life, how you're leaning into your intuition, how you're leaning into your connection with your guides, with yourself, with your higher self, with your source, you see, and how you're integrating that into the experience of the one. Because that, my dears, is true freedom. Blessings, dear ones. From the Pleiadians, we love you, my dear, so much. And we like to say, see you again very soon. Blessings, dears. I trust that message was exactly what you needed to hear today. And if you love this stuff, please head over to the website. I do private readings. If you would like to experience Diana in a personal one-on-one session, head over there and check it out. We also offer monthly Alive with Diana Live, which is a live stream every single month where you get to bring your questions to Diana directly. And it's such a sweet, sweet environment where you get to come and be with community and ask questions and sip tea on a Sunday afternoon and just really take in the yumminess and the high frequencies and the high vibe of the Pleiadians and bring that with you for your entire month. So come and join. Your first gathering is on us. We would love to see you there. So blessings, dear ones. We'll see you soon.